So guys, welcome to, what day is it today? March 8th live stream, where today I think I'm going to spend probably a few minutes talking about the iPhone 8 and kind of what I think about it. And then I'll just kind of go and answer whatever questions or comments you guys have for me. I've got Monty here at the end of the thing. Probably half an hour from now I'm going to feed him this banana. He's been a pretty good boy today, so we'll find out. So, the iPhone 8, there's a lot of speculation for it, and we are barely, I think we're finally past the 6-month mark for the iPhone 7s, which I guess for some people might have been a disappointment because there's very little difference. There's very little difference between the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 6s, and by what the rumor mill is saying that there's going to be an iPhone 7s, and I'm guessing it's not going to be that much difference. So, when was the last time Apple had an iPhone that shared the same form factor for over 4 years? That's crazy in my opinion. Hey guys, Nate and Armand8, how are you guys doing? So I guess the biggest thing for me right now is that the iPhone 8 is going to have a bigger screen. Now the iPhone 7 Plus has a 4.7-inch screen, which is pretty big, pretty hard to keep in my pants. They're saying that the iPhone 8 is going to have a 5.8-inch screen. So that's another inch in the diagonal. That's massive. There's no way you're going to be keeping that in your pants or your back pockets. That's all I got to say about the size. Hey guys, hello September, hello Anthony, and hello Ricardo. You love my videos? Well, I'll keep them coming. Been doing them for several years now. Now for the body, I've got here a Rhino Shield Playproof with a Rhino Shield glass screen protector. They sent me about a dozen screen protectors, and so I've been testing them. I don't know if you can see, but the problem with tempered glass screen protectors is that if you could do this to the edges, you can crack them. I can't do it on. Yeah, there we go. I cracked the edge. Now that's glass. That's how easy glass breaks, and so to have a glass body, I'm not quite sure how durable the iPhone 8 is going to be. It has a glass body. Last iPhone, from my memory, that had a glass body was the iPhone 4 and the 4S. And I know that thing broke very easily. I think my sister broke her iPhone 4 within like 2 days. It fell from like 2 feet, I think. And it was in a case, and the glass still broke. So, yeah, my dog. Hey, Hugo, my dog is so nice. He is very approving of my thing. Anthony Mendes does make a good point that it's not going to have a bezel. A lot of the new iPhones, or the iPhone, has about half an inch of a bezel, but still, it's going to be 5.8 inches on the display is going to be pretty big, regardless of whether it has a bezel or not. I don't know when the Rhino Shield Solid Suit's coming out, Dylan. Sorry. They keep telling me it's going to be soon. I don't know. And I guess the next point about the iPhone 8, and we've already kind of touched about that, is that, yeah, it will be edge-to-edge, which might look a little weird because it's like a painting without a frame. I guess I'm looking at one over there that kind of doesn't have a frame, but still, I'm always used to seeing a picture with a frame, but it'll be pretty neat, it'll be different, I guess. But then you'll be getting fingerprinting along the edge of the iPhone. As, you know, I don't have very fat fingers, and my fingers kind of curl over the edge of the screen already. So, who knows? I guess edge-to-edge glass screen protectors would probably be better. I wonder if they're going to keep it curved. Like the iPhone 5 and the 4s had a very rigid 90-degree angle edge. I wonder if they're going to stick to that, or they're going to keep the rounded edge of the current iPhones. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. And Christopher Harrison. Hey Aaron, how's the clarity on your Rhino Shield glass screen protector? Mine wasn't great. Wonder if it was just... This clarity on the Rhino Shield glass screen protector that I have on here it's fine. It's glass. It's pretty clear. So you probably should contact their customer service and make sure you get a better one, because it's glass. I don't see any clarity issues with it. Still going on with the iPhone 8, no home button, which is kind of crazy. I think there will be a home button, but it won't be a physical home button. Like, even with the iPhone 7s, if the iPhone isn't powered on, you can't actually press it. They removed the kind of button portion of it. It's just a piece of glass, and when you press it when the phone's powered on, you can feel you feel the tactile response or the haptic engine telling you that you've pushed a button. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. If it's one piece of glass, it's going to be pretty cool, I think. And I'm guessing, and I'm hoping that Touch ID will work anywhere on the device, which I don't know. Yeah, that's changing how we use the iPhone as we've known it for the last 10 years. So maybe we'll be touching the glass up here and it'll lock the phone. Who knows? All right, let's go to another question. T-Bone Gaming is asking, what do you think about the iPhones going to USB-C? I don't think they will. Not for the next few iterations. I think they're still going to stick with the Lightning connector. And I personally think the Lightning connector is still superior than USB-C. Mostly because it's not sharp. That's the biggest thing for me, anyways, is that the end of the cable isn't sharp. And the last thing about the iPhone 8, before I get to all these questions and whatnot, is the wireless charging. Now, I want to ask you guys, and answer me in the live chat comments, is how useful is wireless charging to you? Now, I've been fooling around with wireless charging. I reviewed the Mophie iPhone 7 Plus, the Mophie Juice Pack Air, and that had wireless charging. And I've got a bunch of wireless charging pucks and everything, but I still prefer a wired connection. I don't know why. And mostly because it's all these accessories that make it bulky and they make it ugly. I know you can get ones that, are very slick or sleek and just kind of tape to the back of your iPhone, but that kind of, I still have to fill in my port, right? So if I have to have a case on the iPhone with that wireless charging pad, I can't charge it without taking everything apart, and that's frustrating to me. So wireless charging, what do you guys think about it? You guys got nothing for me about wireless charging. Curless using it on my S7, Daniel Kim, and it's good. Now, I guess the other thing with wireless charging is that I've got a lot of, like, you've got the S7, I've got the S7 and S7 Edge, and the wireless charging works great, but I've only got 2 wireless charging pucks, and those pucks aren't exactly cheap. They range between 50 to 70 bucks, and I charge my phone everywhere in my house. So to have to get a wireless charging puck for every one of those things, like it's I guess the other thing is just not that cost effective in my opinion. Joel is asking, will the iPhone 8 have an OLED display? I don't know. Maybe. The rumor mill, I think, is saying they will. The last versions of the LED screens on the iPhone 7s are actually pretty good. They're not still as bright as my S7s, but they're not terrible. Do you think it'll have a dual camera as a base model, Daniel Kim asks? I don't think it will. I think they're going to segregate the different models, and I do believe Anthony Mendez is saying that the 8 will have an OLED display, but only on the most expensive model. Now, I think I read today they were saying that there was going to be an iPhone edition, so like it's a tier above, kind of like how the Apple Watch has like the Apple Watch editions made from really fancy materials. So this is $1,000. I cannot imagine how much that iPhone edition is going to cost. What, $1,500, $2,000? That's going to be pretty ridiculous, especially for an iPhone. Especially considering that this is a new generation of an iPhone, and they're going to have so many initial problems with it that people are going to get so angry. I'm going to go buy it. I'm going to figure out what's wrong with it, and then I'm going to be angry, and then I'm going to make a video about it. It's kind of what I do. Robert Negron, love the way your dog looks so interested in the topic. He is, I think he's kind of falling asleep. If you pay attention to him in the videos, I know when I'm filming the regular videos, I read from a script about 70% of the time, and the video footage of him while I read the script, he's doing this. How many iPhones will they be releasing? Stephen Gayton asked. I think 3. Yeah, regular sized, bigger size. They're going to release an iPhone 7s and iPhone 7s Plus and whatever the new one is. I hope that's not the case. I hope it's just the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus, if there is a Plus. I personally don't want to see so many different iterations of an iPhone. It kind of goes against what Steve Jobs did initially with the iMacs. And the beautiful thing about Apple as a company is They are very simplistic. Everything should be simple, and there's a lot of creep that's starting to get into their product lineup. So I'm really hoping they keep it nice and clean. And Anthony Laughman asked me Android or Apple. I'm an Apple guy. Not because the hardware is superior or inferior. It's because I've got the ecosystem. I've got the laptop. I've got the Apple TVs. I've got the Apple routers. Everything just works very well. AirDrop still for me is phenomenal. I love AirDrop on my Macs. Being able to transfer footage from my iPhone to my Mac, almost like that, is a lifesaver in a lot of the videos that I do. Hugo Acerte is asking, when will we know when they launch the new iPhones? I'm guessing September, October. That's what it's been for the last few years, and they generally don't disappoint. They usually want to get it out before the Christmas season, to get it all hyped up so that the share price goes up and so that they make some money in the last quarter of the year. That's kind of what they've been doing for the last 5-6 years. Daniel Kim is asking if my Reynolds Shield is my daily drive. It is not. It's because I'm reviewing their screen protectors, which is why I'm using their cases. They send me a ton of cases and a ton of screen protectors, so I'm using them. Dwayne Thomas, I prefer great battery life would be consistent across all models, not just a plus. Great battery life, I'm a little less torn about battery life, mostly because ever since getting the 6S's, I've noticed that I can survive on an iPhone 7 charge over 2 days. The 7 Plus could go 2.5 days. I don't think the battery life for the smaller iPhones will be better because the device is small. There's not as much battery to pack into the tiny enclosure, so I'm guessing the battery life is probably going to be similar to the smaller iPhones for the new versions. And Nady is asking red colors. I'm actually excited about the red iPhones. If those rumors come true, I'm so going to get a red iPhone. It's bright, it's shocking. I love it. I've got a matte black one. I've gone through a silver, gone through a gold. Haven't done a glossy back, but the next iPhone 7 or 7 Plus that I buy, depending on which ones I break, will probably be a red one if they release it, I guess, later this month. September Williams is asking if they will jump to the 8 and not doing the S7S. I think they will be doing the 7S, which will be like the 7. Same form factor. So not terribly excited about that because I have to redo all my reviews again for the same size iPhone. Ugh. What's your favorite color iPhone? Jamie asks. My favorite color is actually rose gold. I don't know what it is about it. I like the rose gold phone, but I don't like the rose gold cases. Like the rose gold phone by itself without a case, I really like that look. Which is weird because it's pink. Anthony Mendez is saying that the battery life will be better because they're attaching some sort of stacked logic board design. And yes, the L-shaped for the bigger iPhone. For the 8, I think they were saying. But for the 7s and the 7 Pluses, I don't think the battery life is going to be significantly different. Out of your current devices, which is your go-to, 4.7 or 5.5, Dwayne asks. I like the 5.5. The bigger iPhone to me is just better to use. Everything is a little bigger, and maybe because I'm getting older, my eyesight's going, but I like the bigger screen. I've been using my iPhone, the regular size 7s, for about a month now because all the waterproof cases that I'm doing, I've only gotten them for the iPhone 7. So I've been, every single time I see my 2 7 Pluses downstairs, I'm like, I could swap out the SIM card and just use it for a day, but I have to be testing out these cases and the screen protectors, so I can't use them as a day-to-day phone. I really want to, but I can't. Tim's Motorcycle Diary is asking, think they'll release the 10th anniversary iPhone earlier than September? I don't know. You know, as a marketing PR thing, maybe they will announce it at WWDC in June. Maybe they'll just tell us this is what it's going to look like, these are the specs, and they're going to make us wait for 4 months like they did with the Mac Pro. Who knows? We really don't know what they're going to do. We can speculate, we can guess, but we have no idea. Dwayne Thomas, keep up the good work. Thanks. And what else? What feature do you think should be on the iPhone, Anthony asks. That's a good question. I think on the phone, nothing much. I can't think of really anything else that needs to go onto the phone. A holographic display. How would that work? Flexible display. Needs to fold up like a wallet. Now, I don't know. For the phones, my big thing, I guess, for me, isn't really the phone. It's going to be the Apple glasses. They're going to come up with a pair of augmented reality glasses, and I think they have the opportunity to do it very, very well. That's what I'm most excited about this year, is them developing that. Other than that, for the iPhones, it will get faster, it will get better, it'll do things a little quicker, but I think this as a product has reached its limit. I don't think there's much else we can do with it. Just my opinion. Jonathan is asking me about the concepts of the iPhone that Apple Pro created. Would you be satisfied with that? I don't look at concepts. Concepts, I think, are useless. They don't tell me anything. It's based on what somebody else thinks, and there's no point getting excited about something that doesn't even come from Apple. Isn't even an Apple thing. It's just what somebody thinks the iPhone 8 should look like, and there was almost no basis of truth in it. So I don't really pay attention to concepts. I thought about it, to make videos about the concept video iPhone 8, but no, that's just my opinion. Chase Hoskins, hello! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Daniel Kim is asking, do you think it would be nice if Apple made a rugged version of their iPhone? A rugged version? I don't think it needs to be any more rugged. Like, I've broken enough iPhones to know that these things can take a beating. The glass is always going to be the weakest part. It's going to break, it's going to shatter. But if you really need to turn it into a rugged thing, just go get a rugged case. And then when you're done with it, take off the rugged case. That's just kind of my personal opinion. They got rid of one of the weakest things on the frame of the body, which was the headphone jack, because all my iPhones, after several drops, there would be a bit of bending in the headphone jack. So that's pretty awesome they got rid of that. But making a rugged version, I don't know what the value is of that. Like, they would sell a fraction of those. They would sell such a small amount of those devices, in my opinion. Too good. Do you think the iPhone will bring the first generation iPhone style to the iPhone 8? That is a good question. I'm a big fan of nostalgia, we'll say. Like, I never bought the original iPhone. I really wish I did. But it was just way too much money at the time when I was, 10 years younger. It's still probably a lot of money now. But I really liked that design. The same with the iPads. I really liked the original iPad's design. It was just so different. It's so unique. But it would be pretty cool. It's like Apple remaster. It's like, what's like up to Eidos remastering Final Fantasy VII. Like, that would be so awesome. So incredibly, incredibly awesome. Jamie is asking, do you think that the bezels of the iPhone are too big? No. It is what it is right now. I've never used anything smaller, so I have nothing to compare against. Dwayne Thomas, if they go rugged, then case manufacturers might suffer, even those with the marketing fluff. They might suffer a little bit, but because we've been using these smartphones for 10 years, and every one of us has probably broken one at least. So I think there's that stigma that these things will break and people will want to buy a case for it. So I don't think those case manufacturers will suffer a whole lot. I think life-proof and the waterproof cases might suffer a bit, but I think a Spigen and a Spec, Rhino Shield Evolutive Labs, I don't think they're going to take a big hit. Dan Bittner, would you rather have USB-C with quick charge or have wireless charging? If you can have one of these on the iPhone 8, Dan, I would go with quick charge over wireless charging. because there's just a lot more outlets for me to carry a regular charger and a cable around there, and there will be wireless charging places. Just my opinion, and I think it's just more useful that way. What's the strongest case, I'm guessing you're asking me, that you've seen on an iPhone? Strongest case is probably going to be the Ghost Tech Atomic. That thing will not bend. Your iPhone will not bend in that case. It could take a bunch of drops. There is a better chance that your iPhone's going to break internally than having structural or external damage to the iPhone in the Ghost Tech Atomic. Still trudging away on the review for that. Jamie Alvarez is asking, what's my favorite case at the moment? My favorite case is, which one is it? I like the K11 bumper for the iPhones. That's up there. I always default to the loopy case. Honestly, the loop on the back just makes my iPhone so much easier to use, and I'm using it all the time. Mark Brooks, do you think they'll bring the camera to the non-plus iPhone? No, I don't think there's enough room on the back of this tiny iPhone to have dual cameras. So, I didn't know they came out with a Spigen ThinFit 360 case. I'll see if I can get them to send me one. How do we customize the loops on the loopy case? I don't think you can, because they're not rubber. They're not just rubber bands anymore. Like there's a bit of tackiness to them. I don't think Loopy's offering any custom cutting. I was thinking about doing kind of a hack. Doing a hack between an OtterBox symmetry with a loopy band. I think that would work fairly well. You have to scrape out part of the back of the symmetry, but it'd be kind of a neat project. I might do that. Adam H, the call quality of the Ghost Tech Atomic is absolute crap. The Ghost Tech Atomic rates very well in my scoring system because it allows you to use a screen protector and a skin on your iPhone in the waterproof case. So the best case scenario for me for the Ghost Tech Atomic is if you're going to this, if you're vacationing near a swimming pool, or you're going to the ocean, or you're doing something near water, you don't need to really take anything off your iPhone. You can easily take it out of its existing case with your screen protector and throw it into the Ghost Tech Atomic. I think the case is about $60, so it's not as expensive as a LifeProof case. And if you don't need that water protection, again, you can just easily take it out and use a regular case with it. That's the biggest selling point for me for the Ghost Tech Atomic. I personally wouldn't use it as a day-to-day case, mostly because the gap is very noticeable and the call and the sound is just brutal. What do you think about Tech 21 cases, Jamie? They're all right, average. I like the Tech 21 Evo Mesh. Patriot blows chunks. The Impact Clear, I've got one in my car and it's baking in the sun and it's getting kind of yellow, so I'm not a big fan of that. Nathan Coughlin, have you thought about reviewing any Slow Lizard products? I have. I paid $140 for the iPhone 6s Snow Lizard case that showed up after I got the iPhone 7. So I know they had a lot of problems developing their products for the iPhone 6s. I think one of the factories lost their MiFi certification, so they couldn't produce them as quickly. I'll see about getting one of their products, but it's just spending $140 on a case and not getting it for over a year has left a really bitter taste, for me anyways, which is probably why I probably won't review their stuff unless they will give it to me for free, because I'm not spending more money on it. I'm not giving them more money, is the bottom line. I've had every generation, Ryan 4.3. Well, cool. How tough are you on those iPhones, though? Because if you're not very tough on them, yeah, they would last for a while. My niece broke her iPhone 4S. Her glass back cracked in a LifeProof case. Easy P, how old is Monty? He's super well trained. Monty is, whoa. You all right, buddy? All right, come here. Monty is 7.5 years old. So he is a senior now. So he is getting up there. Daniel Kim, do you think the next iPhone will have an edge screen? I'm assuming I'm really hoping it's going to be right angles, kind of like the iPhone 5 was. I'm not a big fan of these curved edges on the 6s and 7s. Ryan, wow. Your construction worker. Wow, I'm surprised you have not broken a phone. That's a testament to LifeProof's products, I guess. T-Bone Gaming. If the iPhone 8 is 5.8 inches, do you think it'll have dual cameras? It better have dual cameras at 5.8 inches. I think it's going to be so big. Apple's going to have trouble filling it up with stuff. Jamie, what feature do you want on the next? I think I already answered that a few minutes ago. Anthony Mendez, what's the strongest glass you've seen on a phone? The strongest glass is going to be Patchwork's ITG silicone glass. That thing has so many scratches in it, and I've reapplied it half a dozen times, and it hasn't cracked yet. And that's because the glass is probably, I think it's 0.33 centimeters. So it's pretty thick. But that thing can take a beating. It bends like, in the video I've had it bend like this, and the glass was fine. So that's the strongest glass that I've seen. Basically, any sort of Gorilla Glass or chemically treated glass is going to be the strongest. Now, the strength of it will be based on how thick it is. So the Belkin Ultra Invisible Glass is it's like 0.2 of a millimeter. It's incredibly thin, so it's strong because it's Gorilla Glass, but it's still going to crack fairly easily after there's a scratch in it. Bill Bragg, LifeProof Nude or LifeProof Free. I just made a video about that. So you can find it out on my channel. Personally, I go with the free. Abraham Garcia. Hey, Aaron. I have 2 A's in my name, not 2 R's. I love your videos. What's your favorite thin, tough case? My favorite thin case would still be the K11 bumper. Big fan of that. The loopy case. The favorite tough case, I would have to go with... You know, I've come a full 360 on the Defender. I don't mind the Defender. The tough case, the Summit's not too bad. I haven't really gotten my hands on a lot of different tough cases. The worst tough case that I've used, the Ballistic Tough Jacket Max. That thing's so bad. It's so bad. Ryan, I think my 6 bent a little bit, but no break. Funny thing, with the bent iPhones, you can easily bend them back if you've got the stomach for it. Sethawit Thenararapong. I'm guessing you're from Thailand, Mr. Sethawit Thenararapong. My guess. I worked in Thailand for 3 weeks on a secondment to my company when I was in my mid-20s. And I met a lot of people with the last name Pong, or had Pong in the last name. Do you think problems with the proximity sensor on the Ghost Atomic cases when making calls? Back when I bought one for the LG, I could remove the case to hang up a call. I don't know. I've never tested that. I've never had a case hang up my iPhone. That's a new one to me. I've never heard of that one. Dan Bittner, I'm rocking a matte black Rhino Shield Playproof with one of their brand new screen protectors. The fits, if you've checked out my Instagram, I showed a picture of the fit. The fit between the case and this screen protector is awesome. It's phenomenal, actually. It's pretty cool. Don't worry about it, Abraham. This is kind of bugging you. Easy P, do you watch any of Apple Pro's video at all to stay updated about the rumors of the new Apple products? I don't watch anybody else's videos. I read a lot. I read a lot about Mac rumors. I don't watch a lot of videos. Personally, I don't like watching videos because I find a lot of the videos, they are YouTube rewards videos that make people watch longer. And so, like in all my reviews, within the first minute, you're going to know everything. You're going to need to know everything about the case, in my opinion. Right? A lot of those review videos will leave that till the very end because they want to keep you watching as long as possible. And so I get very frustrated watching other people's YouTube videos because they're just trying to string me along. I'd rather go read a web article and skim through it pretty quickly and pull out the important points. Hey, you are Ty. Woohoo! Do I think the iPhone maximum storage should go up to 256? Sure. Why not? Why not do 512? I think I've got 32 gig. I usually always buy the smallest sized iPhones. Now, I got into a really tough spot with the iPhone 6s at 16 gigabytes and live videos or live photos. That was unworkable for me. But it's like buying a bigger house. The bigger house you have, the more stuff you put into it, and most of that stuff is just junk. You have a bigger iPhone, you can store more stuff on it, but most of that stuff's going to be junk. My opinion, my personal opinion on larger sized iPhones. Ice Planet RC, what computer to use for editing? I use a 2012 MacBook Pro Retina. It's the first MacBook Pros to come out. I use Final Cut Pro X. The thing's not going to last much longer. It's getting kind of slow. And I take very good care of it. I rebuild it every 3-4 months. So I think it's just getting to that age. Like the fans aren't silent anymore. They're very loud. I don't know if you can hear it. It's actually going right now, as OBS is apparently taking up way too much processing power. Jonathan Fernandez is asking, have I ever thought about making your own case line? I'd definitely buy and trust it with a 100-foot drop. I have thought about it, but the amount of work that goes into it, like I've been talking to the guys from Mouse a lot, and the amount of work that goes into setting up a factory to mass produce all that stuff is pretty incredible. Like it's a lot of work. Like they've been doing it for 2 years now, and they finally released their cases. So to do my own case line, be a neat idea, but I don't think I would do it. Mostly because that doesn't interest me. I'm not good at that singular focused type of execution. I like talking about reviews. I like talking about products. That's kind of what I like doing. EZP is asking me the favorite generation iPhone. Mine's going to be the 5s. I like that form factor. It's still thin. You can easily use it with one hand because it was because of the right angle edges. I'm not a big fan of the 6 or the 7s. So that's kind of all we've got for comments and stuff. So thank you guys for watching. I've got 2 more videos coming out this week on Saturday and Sunday. One of them you guys might not be interested in. It's the best iPhone cases for moms. I worked with a mommy blogger that I know, and we went through a bunch of cases to figure out which ones were the best ones for moms. And I've got the top 10 iPhone clear cases coming out as well. And I might do another video talking about, do I miss the headphone jack on my 7s? And there was just one thing that popped in my mind, and I figure I'd share it with you guys. So those are probably going to be the videos that are coming out towards the end of this week. So thank you for sticking around for this live stream. I am planning on doing this kind of every Wednesday at 4. So stick around, stay tuned, and thank you for your attention, guys. Without you guys watching, I don't think I would be doing this. I definitely wouldn't be doing this. So thanks for watching. Say bye, Monty.